Air travel is changing again, and this time, the changes are bigger than most people realize. By the time we reach 2026, flying will not feel the same as it did just a few years ago. Airport security is evolving. Airlines are quietly adjusting their rules. International carriers are introducing restrictions that many travelers still haven't heard about. And whether we like it or not, these changes are happening with or without our approval. If you've flown recently, you've probably already felt it. New procedures, new technology, new expectations placed on passengers often without clear explanations. And for many travelers, especially those who don't fly, often it can feel overwhelming. But here's the good news. You don't need to be stressed, confused, or caught off guard. In this video, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to give you clarity. I'm going to walk you through the most important travel updates coming into 2026, explain why they exist, and most importantly, show you how to move through airports confidently without letting these changes ruin your trip. We'll focus on the headlines you actually need to know, the rules that can cost you time or money if you miss them, and the simple mindset shifts that make modern travel much easier. Because vacations are supposed to feel like a reward, not a test you didn't study for. So take a breath. Let's walk through this together calmly, clearly, and one step at a time. Number 1. Real ID. The rule that can cost you $45 if you're not ready. Let's start with one of the most important changes affecting air travel as we move into 2026. Real ID. By now, many travelers already know this rule exists. But surprisingly, a large number of people still arrive at the airport unprepared. Beginning in 2025 and fully enforced into 2026, anyone traveling through U.S. airports must have a Real ID compliant form of identification in order to pass through TSA security without complications. If you show up without it, TSA will still verify your identity, but it comes at a cost. A $45 fee may be charged if you choose to use an alternative form of identification instead of a Real ID. This fee exists because TSA officers must spend additional time verifying your identity, pulling them away from standard security lines. Now here's what many travelers don't realize, and this is critical. If your driver's license does not have the Real ID marking, you can still use your passport even for domestic flights. That single document can save you time, frustration, and money. Also, this requirement only applies to travelers 18 years and older. Children are not affected by this rule. Once TSA verifies your identity, even if you had to pay that fee, they may allow you to use that approved identification for up to 10 days, reducing repeat delays during that period. The takeaway here is simple. This isn't about punishment, it's about preparation, and the more prepared you are, the smoother your airport experience will be. Number 2. Facial recognition at TSA. Your rights versus your time. As airport security continues to modernize, one of the biggest changes travelers are noticing is the increased use of facial recognition technology at TSA checkpoints. Airports like Las Vegas and many others across the United States are now using advanced imaging systems to verify passenger identity more quickly. The goal is simple: move people through security faster while maintaining safety. But here's something every traveler needs to understand. You still have a choice. As a passenger, you have the legal right to say, "I do not want to use facial recognition." You are not required to participate. However, that decision comes with a trade-off, and TSA does not always explain it clearly. If you opt out, be prepared to wait longer. TSA officers must locate another agent, manually check your identification, and complete a more traditional verification process. What sounds like a quick alternative can easily add 15 extra minutes or more to your time in the security line. And yes, sometimes the attitude you receive won't be pleasant. Some officers may appear impatient. Others might roll their eyes. It's uncomfortable, but it's important to remember one thing: they are not paying for your vacation. This technology exists to streamline the flow of travelers. Opting out doesn't make you wrong, it just means you need to build extra time into your schedule. The smartest approach: decide in advance, know your rights, but also know the consequences. When you plan ahead, you stay in control, not frustrated, not rushed, and not overwhelmed. Number 3. New security scanners. Why you can keep more items in your bag. One of the most positive changes in airport security, and one that many travelers still don't fully trust, is the upgrade to advanced screening technology at TSA checkpoints. As of 2025, and moving fully into 2026, most major U.S. airports have installed new scanners capable of detecting liquids, electronics, and other items without requiring passengers to remove them from their bags. This is a major shift from what many of us were taught for years. But here's where confusion often begins. Yes, the technology has improved, but the rules have not disappeared. You are still limited to one quart-sized liquids bag, and every container must still be 3.4 ounces or smaller. That rule remains unchanged. The difference now is that in many airports, your liquids bag can stay inside your personal item or carry-on unless TSA specifically tells you otherwise. This is why awareness matters. While standing in line, always listen. Always watch. TSA procedures can vary slightly by airport, by time of day, or even by staffing. Most problems happen not because the rules changed, but because travelers weren't paying attention when instructions were given. The goal of these upgrades is simple: less stress, faster movement, and fewer bottlenecks. But they only work when passengers stay calm, alert, and flexible. If you assume every airport works the same way, you risk being caught off guard. If you stay aware, you move through security smoothly, without panic, without embarrassment, and without delays. Number 4. Paid TSA gate access. Why travel rumors can mislead you. Recently, you may have heard a surprising claim in the news that TSA is allowing people to pay money to pass through security and walk to the gate, even if they are not flying, simply to accompany family members or friends. On the surface, it sounds helpful. Emotional goodbyes. Extra support for loved ones. Staying together until the plane boards. But here's the reality. This information is not clearly confirmed. When this update began circulating, direct inquiries were made to TSA through official channels, including Ask TSA via Facebook Messenger and direct contact through the TSA website. The response: confusion. Some agents were unaware of such a policy, while others could not verify it. This leads to one of the most important travel lessons you can learn. Never rely on headlines alone. Travel rules are often reported before they are finalized, until an update appears in writing on the official TSA website or is delivered directly via a TSA email notification. It should be treated as unconfirmed. TSA does offer email alerts if you sign up on their website, and those updates are far more reliable than social media posts or breaking news segments. So before you plan a trip around a rumored policy, pause. Verify. Protect yourself from unnecessary stress, disappointment, or embarrassment at the airport. In modern travel, verified information is power. Number 5. Power banks and lithium batteries. The rule most travelers misunderstand. One of the most confusing airline updates heading into 2026 involves portable chargers, commonly known as power banks. For years, many travelers assumed all power banks were treated the same. But that assumption is now causing real problems at airports, especially on international flights. Here's what has changed. Several international airlines, particularly many Asian carriers, have begun enforcing stricter rules on power banks due to lithium-ion battery safety risks. These batteries can overheat or combust sometimes without warning, especially when they are low quality or cheaply made. You may already know that power banks are not allowed in checked luggage. That rule has existed for a long time because fires in the cargo hold are extremely difficult to control. What's new is this. Some airlines now do not allow power banks to be used during the flight at all. Others require them to be kept in your personal item under the seat, not inside your carry-on suitcase. In 2025, Southwest Airlines introduced a rule prohibiting passengers from charging devices inside their carry-on bags. And while it sounds strange because most people don't charge phones inside closed suitcases, the intent is safety. Airlines want any charging device to remain visible and accessible to flight attendants. This is not about limiting passenger rights. It's about preventing fires in places where no one can respond quickly. Some travelers mistakenly believe airlines are banning chargers entirely. That's not true. In most cases, you can still carry them and sometimes use them as long as you follow airline-specific rules. The safest approach. Use a high-quality brand that monitors heat and shuts down automatically if temperatures rise. Safety visibility and preparation are now part of modern air travel. Number 6. Flying in 2026. New destinations. New expectations. New mindsets. Amid all these new rules and restrictions, it's easy to forget something important. Air travel is still a privilege. The good news going into 2026 is that airlines are flying to new destinations. More routes are opening. More cities are becoming accessible, not just the same famous places everyone has already visited. Many travelers have already been to Paris, or New York City, or the Grand Canyon. Now airlines are encouraging what's called second city travel, exploring lesser-known destinations that offer just as much beauty culture and meaning without the overwhelming crowds. For many of us, every flight is still a gift. There are moments when stepping onto an airplane feels emotional, realizing how fortunate we are to be able to explore the world. And yet, somewhere along the way, expectations rise. We start expecting perfect seats, perfect food, flawless service, often for free. That's not how modern airlines operate anymore. Flying in 2026 requires a choice. Are we using airplanes simply as a tool to move from one place to another? Or are we allowing every inconvenience to steal the joy of the journey? You always have options. You can drive. You can sail. But if you choose to fly, the healthiest approach is acceptance, learning the rules, and moving forward calmly, one step at a time. When you shift your mindset, travel stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like an opportunity again. Number 7. TSA, frustrations, negative voices, and protecting your peace. One truth about modern air travel is this. You will hear complaints everywhere. Online, in airport lines, in comment sections. People vent about TSA, about airlines, about delays, often with anger and exaggeration. But here's something important to remember. Those voices are not traveling with you. TSA officers, for the most part, are trying to see fewer items, fewer problems, and fewer disruptions. That's why newer security systems exist. That's why procedures are simplified. When you understand this, the process becomes easier to follow. You'll hear people arguing, rolling their eyes, or calling TSA names. Don't engage. Arguments don't get you to your destination any faster. Travel requires awareness, not tension. Pay attention to signs. Listen to instructions. Keep your ID ready. Have your boarding pass accessible. Stay present. Many travelers get frustrated simply because they aren't aware of what's happening around them. And here's a powerful mindset shift. You will likely never see these people again. Don't let someone else's bad mood define your journey. Complaining drains energy. Calm awareness preserves it. And when you protect your peace, travel becomes lighter even on difficult days. Number 8. How to avoid feeling overwhelmed at the airport. With so many changes in air travel, feeling overwhelmed is understandable, especially if you haven't flown in a long time. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is preparation. Start with small, simple habits. Always pack a few snacks in case your flight is delayed. Bring an empty water bottle you can fill after security. Carry enough medication for a few extra days just in case plans change unexpectedly. These small steps create a safety net and peace of mind. Timing matters more than most people realize. A smart rule is to arrive at the airport 2 hours before boarding, not just before takeoff. Boarding usually begins about 30 minutes before departure, and security lines can be unpredictable. If you haven't flown in years, remember this. Some things have changed and some haven't. Shoes often do not need to be removed anymore, but sometimes they still do. It may seem inconsistent, but it happens. Don't fight it. Let it pass. Liquids usually stay in your bag now, but always listen for instructions. Awareness is your best tool. And one of the most powerful tools available today is the airline's mobile app. Download it. Knowledge is power. Gate changes, delays boarding times. It's all there without flooding your email inbox. When you prepare calmly, airports stop feeling chaotic and start feeling manageable. Number 9. Travel insurance, summer delays, and why time is your best protection. As air travel becomes more complex, travel insurance is no longer optional. It's essential. Delays happen. Cancellations happen. And medical emergencies don't wait for convenient moments. Many travelers assume their regular insurance will protect them abroad. But in most cases it won't. That's why having both travel insurance and medical coverage is more important than ever. It protects you if a flight is delayed or canceled, and it protects you financially if something unexpected happens far from home. Timing also matters, especially in summer. Airlines are flying their aircraft more frequently during peak travel seasons. That means more wear, more mechanical issues, and more delays. It's not negligence, it's volume. If you're connecting through a major airport, especially one known for delays, short layovers are risky. A 2-hour window is no longer enough. 4 hours is now the safer buffer, especially if a missed connection could derail an entire vacation. And if you're boarding a cruise or starting a major trip, the smartest move is simple: arrive the day before. That one extra night can protect weeks of planning, thousands of dollars, and your peace of mind. Time is no longer wasted. It's insurance. Preparation doesn't remove all problems, but it gives you control when problems appear. As we move toward 2026, air travel will continue to evolve with new rules, new technology, and new expectations placed on passengers. These changes are not meant to ruin your journey. They are simply part of a system adapting to a busier, more complex world. The key is perspective. When you understand the rules, prepare ahead of time, and give yourself extra space, both mentally and physically, travel becomes manageable again. Delays feel less personal. Security feels less intimidating. And inconvenience becomes just another step along the way. Remember this: flying is still a privilege. It is a chance to see new places, reconnect with loved ones, and experience the world beyond your routine. Don't let a new policy, a long line, or someone else's bad attitude steal that joy from you. Stay informed. Stay calm. And carry gratitude with you because the journey is part of the destination.